And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kasarian, and we are back in Automation, the car company Tycoon game. So today we're actually working on a new vehicle. We are going to be working, or rather a new engine. Alright? And, or a new series of engines thereof. Now, let's get out of that, because what we actually need to do is go new car. And this is going to be called test car. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to set this for 1976. And we're going to start building some new designs. Let's go last 10 years. And we're going to need a couple cars. So the first one we're going to look at is our, what will be the new Firebird. That's right. This is the new vehicle design for the Firebird. Yeah. Actually, I believe the Firehawk... There should be a 74 Firebird. There it is. And the engine type is... Okay, this thing. The 32 valve, the Sonic NAFI Super L. Now, we're going to design a new variant of it today. So, I'm going to go new variant. Variant 1. Ta-da! Okay. Well, that's interesting. You know what? Let's do this the old-fashioned way. So we have the CS1. So we also want to build a smaller, lighter, faster car. Which is actually going to be built on, I believe... I have to find this thing around here somewhere. So our CS1 is basically our chord line, right? Right. So we want something that's a little smaller, maybe. Let's see what we have here. We have, for example, this little guy. Boop. He's tiny. He's cute. We have one of these monsters. We have this beast. Look at this. That's a nice big car, huh? We got that thing. Let's see. What do we want to build today? Well, we have a sports car. So let's build something a bit smaller and lighter. And this car actually looks like a great option for me. So let's streamline it a bit. This thing will be nice and sporty. So this car is actually going to bring back the Urbic line. Okay. We're going to go monocoque, galvanized steel. We're going to do a transverse engine. And we're going to go with a McPherson. We're going to call this the Urbic Prince. Because we're actually going to use a slightly different design here. We're actually going to go double wishbone in the front. Okay. And we'll also do a double wishbone in the rear. And then panel material, we're going to have to stick with steel. Because that's really all we have right now. Okay, headlight design time. Now, I think we're going to go with a slightly different headlight design. like that. Bit of wrap around back there. And then for tail lights, we're actually going to go with a similar design to what we've been using. So we have the tail lights in here. And then we have our indicator lights. Let's go back one. Of course, these things are hell to click on. Come on, where's your click box? I can't find the click box. That's fine. A little bit more quality there. Let's move ahead. So a 3-door transverse front-wheel drive. I like the fire engine red look. And this is actually going to be the LES. Yep, we're building our luxury sport version first. So, do we have any engines that'll fit? Really? You can fit the CS1 V6 in this thing? Are you nuts? Apparently we can fit the CS1 V6 in this car. Call this the LE6S. However, it is 76, so we are going to have to do something else. We're going to create a new version. We're going to call this the base fuel. We're going to call this the cleaner. The reason we're calling it the cleaner is because we're going to switch something up here. Oh. We are running on regular gasoline. Hey, okay. I didn't realize that the CS1 V6 was actually using a catalytic. That's fine. Okay. We'll switch back to the sport engine for this. Still using a cat? Yeah, okay. That works for me. Alright, with a performance air intake, regular gasoline fuel. That's right, it's running on regular gas. Now, what we're also going to do, though, is we're going to start boosting quality a bit. Yeah, okay, so we're starting to develop a bit of valve float there. That's fine. I do want to point out, though, that we have a little bit of, we've got a little bit more power out of this engine. We're actually at 90.7 there, so that's not bad, actually. Yeah, it's aluminum, DOHC, V6. Alright. So, yeah. Let's move ahead here. Manual, single clutch. 5-speed. Oh, right. We also need cooling. Hold on. We don't know about cooling yet. Okay. Top speed of 161 miles an hour, which is impressive. That all looks good for right now. A bit more quality there. We'll go with a sports compound road tire. Wheels are going to be a bit thin for my taste. Alright, vented front, solid rear discs. None. Alright, what do we need here? We need 190 on the front. Can we... Give ourselves just a bit more room to play with. Okay, so let's take a good long look at what we're going to do here. So we're going to need vents. No, grills. There we go. Grills. What is it with me making cars that look like Hondas? I mean, really. Okay, so that needs to be at least 190. There we go. 4-seat Sport. Premium. Advanced. And we're going to go with standard. Twin tube passive. With a sport rig suspension. Hey! It didn't come out terribly right off the bat. That's pretty rare, actually. Brake fade is an issue. Engine sound is an issue. Gear ratios are not an issue. Downforce or lack thereof is an issue. Okay. Understeer, oversteer, that's an issue. Big issue. Alright. Well, we got the wheel spin down. Actually, we got the wheel spin way down. That's nice. Look at that. We're down to 8% wheel spin on the front. That's pretty good for one of my cars, actually. And we got that fixed a little bit. Okay. So that's looking pretty good there. We're gonna have to fix that in suspension land a little bit. And I'm actually going to up to double piston here. And start increasing the size of these brakes. That's as big as we're getting them. I didn't want to hit that, sorry. One note decided to pop up right under my mouse, and I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, so, brake fade's down to 1.9. If we switch over to a vented disc up here, there we go. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Now, I actually have very little grip on my rear tires, which is not great. I don't like that, but that's what we're going to have to live with. So, this is actually turning out to be a pretty balanced car. What else are we talking about back here? Brake balance is still an issue, of course. They want some more downforce. Not the most practical car in the world. They want more downforce. Okay. Well, we can give them more downforce. That is not an issue. Especially if this car is going to be traveling as fast as it will be, you know. I don't blame them for wanting some more downforce in this thing. So let's put a wing across the back. Of course, we have a problem where to stick it. All right, that looks good. And a lip across the nose. And this would also be a good time to probably put some handles on. So let's go with something kind of future-y. Yeah, so it's like pull open, you know? And then we also want badges. This is in our luxury line, so we're getting the wing badge on the back. And a wing badge on the front. Okay, now headlight land. Let's go back to here. So we're re-adding... Put some fogs down there. And And then we'll put some indicator lights. Right there. But what we also want to do is I actually want to put some more vents in. And then one of these guys. Right there. The idea being that these are actually going to cool the brakes. Yeah. Now, actually, as we go back to here, 230, that means we can crank this all the way up. We're still pushing 131 miles an hour. All right, so we're still zipping along here. What I can also do now is I can actually decrease this a little bit. Yeah, actually, here's the thing. I want this kind of cranked up because we have downforce now. Check our dynamics. You can see our rear downforce is actually much higher than it previously was. Our front downforce still isn't great, but let's see. This is the front or the back? So we have that downforce on her now. Let's see what that did with our design detail stats. Alright, so. Yeah, top speed's now a factor because it's not as slick as it was. Well, now what we can do is we can actually increase that. And that. So we should get a bit more speed out of it. We just want to have just enough to keep it from flying off the road, basically. Okay, so we're still here. We're still here. We need to tweak this stuff now. There we go. Now let's look at the gearbox. Oh, no, we're down at 132. Sorry, I'm just playing with this. There we go. So that's we've solved a bit more of our wheel spin issues. When I said front wheel drive's the way to go. Alright, braking distance is good. Acceleration good. Cornering good. You still have that brake balance problem, but that's neither here nor there. Torque curve. They like it, huh? They like the engine sound, but you know what? I don't want to blow this thing apart because I don't want its comfort to be too low. They don't like the comfort, the torque curve, or the smoothness. The bottom out, or the cabin noise. They like the entertainment. They like the quality. Yeah. Prestige is pretty decent, though. They don't like the drivetrain, and the top speed isn't fantastic. But it is there, you know? It's definitely a vehicle. Safety's pretty decent. Practicality, yeah, you're not buying this car for practicality or for fuel efficiency. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Alright, let's hit the save button. And then let's duplicate this trim for the LE6 Turbo. Now, this may change the car a little bit because... yeah, alright. Turbo Sport. Yeah, okay, so everything just shot down. Alright, let's fix this car. First thing, engine. Oh, engine too big to fit in the car. Ah, okay. Well, that certainly is... I wonder. New family. Let's call this the Urbic. Let's call this the 7-6-6. Because I'm curious about this for this car. Inline 6, aluminum. Yep, alright, it would be too big. Thought so. Okay. So, what other engines can we fit in this vehicle? See, it's yellow because some of them fit and some of them don't. So we have the Zephyr. The Zephyr 1.6. Sport Alpha, which is a turbocharged engine. But it's running leaded fuel. Let's do the Sport Alpha Cat. Because what I want to do is I actually want to switch it down to regular. Now it's going to have a heart attack here. Because there we go, yep. So we're actually going to have to give it a bit more fuel there. Just to make sure it's not going to have a heart attack on me. There. So we're looking at about 161 horsepower. Now, the problem with this is that even with the Sport Alpha Cat... Yeah, alright. So let's test something here. Let's create the X81. And we're going to see if we can get a V8 engine in this thing. Too big to fit in car. Now, what size would we have to go down to get it small enough to fit in our vehicle? So we're looking at about a 3.6 liter V8. A long stroke 6 point... Yeah. Let's try this. Let's try this. So we're going to go DOHC for aluminum. Okay? I don't know what we're going to call it. This is going to be the XR8. Or the X8R. What am I going to call this thing? The XE8. XE8. Experimental Engine 8. Or rather, Experimental Engine 8-cylinder. Okay, so it's aluminum DOHC. We're 81 by 80... 82 by 86, really. So, okay, so let's move forward. We're going to have to go with that. That forged, please. Leave this alone for right now. Can we fit turbos in here? No, we can't. So this will be the NA. Mechanical injection, single, performance, regular gasoline. Tubular, twin exhaust, two-way cat. And we're going to go with a pair of straights for this engine. And it's not blowing up. Oh, it is blowing up. Oops. It really doesn't need big exhaust stacks for this, though. Like, it really doesn't. Okay, so we're going to come back over to here. That's where it's going to sit, apparently. Okay, so we're going to richen the fuel mixture a bit. This is going to be difficult to do. And we're going to boost the camera profile. I think we're going to have to come back in a little bit, guys, because we're going to have to come back in the next episode, because I'm probably way out of time. So this has been Mr. Kasarian. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you all next time. Thank you. Happy building.